Major updates in Luigi Mangione's life in jail and outside of jail. As we know, Luigi sits in the same federal detention center as Chomo P. Diddy. They are saying he allegedly gunned down United Healthcare CEO in broad daylight on a crowded New York street. He would write inscriptions on the bullets to make it known why he was killing this man. This case has affected all walks of life, as everybody has felt the pain of losing somebody to the medical system, and how healthcare can fuck you over time and time again. Now, murder is never the answer, but people get pushed against the wall to the brink, and they feel they have no other option. And I know that's what people are always supposed to say, murder's not right, but I do believe in defending your family against these chomos. Just like in prison though, sometimes the only way you can get any type of acknowledgement or respect, the only currency that's understood, is violence. Shortly after his capture, the mayor of New York, the corrupt mayor who gave P. Diddy, the chomo, the key to the city, then took it back and then was indicted, would parade Luigi up and down the streets of New York. It still doesn't change anything. And people as outspoken as 50 Cent, who is known to stay away from religion and politics, has said on record he is going to make a documentary about Luigi Mangione. As he said, he kind of likes Luigi. This is a guy that was shot 9 times from Jamaica, Queens. Then on the opposite end of the spectrum, you get somebody from Ocala, Florida, that goes to a press conference, Sean Strickland, one of the greatest middleweights, wearing the same inscriptions on his shirt that was written on the bullets that killed the CEO. 2 different walks of life, both outspoken in their own rights, have both felt what he did. As I'm sure 50 Cent, who laid in the hospital for months after being shot 9 times, he probably felt so much betrayal by the medical system. For him to do this, who he is known to never speak on any issues that divide people, and for someone as outspoken with completely different views and is very political as Sean Strickland, who you might not agree with, shows up to a press conference wearing this shirt, who said he doesn't believe in the method, but 100% in the message. So then you have the middle, as 50 Cent, one of the biggest entertainers, rappers of all time. Sean Strickland, one of the outspoken best fighters and middleweight of all time. 2 completely different point of views, but both feel this message. Then in the middle, you have just regular people donating over $300,000 for Luigi Mangione's legal defense. It just shows you that all walks of life have felt this type of pain. I know not everybody acts on these impulses, no matter how mad they get. They know they have a family, responsibilities they can't leave behind. However, in prison, when I would see a chomo, I would literally get at them, torture them, do whatever it took to destroy them, mentally, physically. As seeing that type of evil, I would throw it all away to know that they would feel just an ounce of what that little child felt. Like I said, it could just be the young me speaking and doing what he was afraid to do when he was younger. And as people see this, they feel the same way, as they've probably been fucked over by healthcare, and they said, they felt what he felt. So to see somebody act on it, they get behind it. Now, murder's never right, and a man was killed, and a father, as Luigi Mangione sits in the same federal jail in Brooklyn as the chomo P. Diddy. His indictment is murder through the use of firearm, using a firearm, silencer during a violent crime, and 2 counts of interstate stalking. He's also facing state charges of forgery, murder, and counts of using a weapon in a crime. He's facing life. And since it's a federal case, he's technically could get the death penalty. But when you see walks of life like 50 Cent from Southside Jamaica, Queens, Sean Strickland from Ocala, nowhere, Florida, both affected by this emotionally, and then you see just regular people in society donate over $300,000 to this man. Don't get me wrong, he comes from a wealthy family, Ivy League student, never wanted for money. Yet, this is the difference between trying to help a evil, demonic piece of shit like Wade Wilson. When I saw that, that's dark energy. People are doing that because they're sick. There's nothing there that they've ever felt. What they should have been doing was helping those victims out, their families. Instead, this is something more of light energy. As yes, a violent crime has happened, and I don't agree with ever doing that unless you're protecting your family, or you have to take one of these chomos and, do what you got to do. However, that's the light energy, where somebody is feeling the pain of losing their mother, their sister, their brother, themselves, who've worked their whole life to only be fucked over by the healthcare system, to reach into their pocket and to donate someone that doesn't need a dollar. It just shows you. 50 Cent, who was shot 9 times, came from Jamaica, Queens, in one of the rougher areas and the rougher times of that era, who's never been in politics, who never wants to be in religion, is outspoken about this. Remember, he made the documentary about P. Diddy before anybody really knew what was going on. Sean Strickland, who hate him or love him, it just shows that 50 Cent and Sean Strickland are literally as opposite as it gets, yet they both have the same belief behind this. Regardless, it is what it is. Sometimes, just like I've seen so many times in prison, somebody's kid will be hurt over and over. DCF does nothing about it. Child Protective Services does nothing about it, as the burden is so high for proof. The kid suffers and suffers, and finally something so bad happens that they have to act when they knew they could have prevented it time and time again. And then you see that guy get whacked in prison, the chomo. Or a parent snaps like Cain Velasquez as his child was molested in a daycare, and they just let the guy on the streets, didn't put a restraining order, didn't follow protocol, and yet now Cain faces more time in prison than the chomo. It's the same feeling that people go through with medical situations. When your family member's dying and you're getting an AI automated response on the phone, you can do anything you want in life as long as you accept the consequences. Now, I'm not gonna give you the, it's never this, it's never that, because it's always this. It's always someone being pushed to the absolute level of complete destruction where their life is in shambles, and then they act, or they have to protect their child or their family member, and then they do something. They don't give a fuck until they have to give a fuck. Stay out, stay free. Us.